You know the feeling, right? You see that green logo, you get a whiff of that roasted coffee smell, and you get that cup with your name, probably spelled wrong, on it. It just feels like a simple part of your day, you know? A little caffeine fix, no big deal. But what if it's not so simple? What if that whole routine is way more calculated than you think? Let's dig in and see what's really brewing behind the counter. Every single day, millions of us walk in and make a choice. And we think that choice is 100% ours. But what if I told you that every little detail, from the words on the menu to the music playing in the background, has been perfectly engineered to guide you? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on the mind-bending psychology of the Starbucks empire. To really understand this machine, we have to rewind. We've got to go all the way back to the beginning, when Starbucks wasn't a global titan, but just a tiny little shop with a completely different idea. So it all starts back in 1971. Three buddies in Seattle. They just wanted to sell really good, high-quality coffee beans. That's it. But then, in 1983, their marketing guy, a fella named Howard Schultz, takes a trip to Italy and has his mind blown by the espresso bars in Milan. He comes back, pitches his grand vision, and the founders, they hate it. So Schultz leaves, starts his own coffee shop, and then, get this, in 1987, he raises enough cash to buy the entire company out from under them. By 1992, his vision was ready for the world stage. And this is so crucial to understanding everything. The founder's whole deal was about a product, coffee beans. But Schultz's vision? It was about an experience. He wanted to create what he called a third place. Not home, not work, but something in between. One was about coffee, the other was about psychology. And we all know which one won. You can literally watch this whole transformation just by looking at their logo. The original siren from '71 was, well, she was pretty seductive, based on a mythological creature that lured sailors to their doom. As the company got bigger and aimed for the mainstream, they slowly cleaned her up, made her more respectable. Until finally, in 2011, they just dropped the word Starbucks coffee altogether. She was so iconic, she didn't even need a name. Every single change was a cold, calculated business move. Okay, now let's step inside the store, because this is where the psychological engineering goes into overdrive. Ever stare at the menu and feel a little nudged? Well, you are. It's called the decoy effect. That middle size, the grande, it's not really there to be the most popular choice. It's there to make the venti look like an amazing deal. Your brain goes, wow, for just 50 cents more, I get that much more coffee? It's a classic upsell, and it works almost every time. So what's actually happening in your head is a well-known cognitive trick called anchoring bias. The price of the grande becomes the anchor for your perception of value. Compared to that, the venti just feels like a smarter, better choice. It's a simple and, frankly, brilliant psychological push. And what's with the whole tall, grande venti thing anyway? It's not just to sound fancy. It's designed to confuse you just enough so that it's hard to compare prices. You can't easily compare a Starbucks grande to a medium coffee down the street. It forces you to speak their language. And here's the kicker. Venti is Italian for 20 ounces. But a cold venti drink, it's actually 24 ounces. They're literally banking on you not doing the math. Then they do something that feels so simple and friendly. They ask for your name. But this is a tactic. It's all about creating what psychologists call psychological ownership. The second your name is on that cup, it's not just a coffee, it's your coffee. It feels personal. And research actually shows that this tiny little act boosts customer satisfaction by a huge 15%. Now, while the company is playing these mind games for profit, the baristas, well, they have their own secret moves. Some have anonymously admitted that if a customer is just relentlessly awful, they have a quiet little form of revenge. They'll decaf them. Yep, give them decaf when they ordered the full-strength stuff. And the design of the space itself is just as calculated. You ever notice the round tables? They're there so solo customers feel less alone. The music is dialed in at a specific volume to give you energy but not be distracting. Some of the chairs are even designed to be a little uncomfortable to get you to leave faster during rush hour. And that warm, cozy lighting, that's there to trigger a dopamine release in your brain, creating a little reward loop that makes you associate Starbucks with feeling good. So all of this, it leads us to the biggest secret of all. If you think Starbucks is in the business of selling coffee, you've already fallen for their greatest trick. Just look at this breakdown. Plain old brewed coffee. The thing the company was literally founded on is a tiny slice of the pie. The real money,
The cash cow is in the sugary, fancy, high-margin drinks like frappuccinos and the food. The coffee, it's just the bait to get you in the door.
And the profit margin on those drinks it's just astronomical. That $6 Frappuccino you're holding, it costs them about 60 cents to make. 60 cents! You're not paying for the ingredients, you're paying for the psychology, the marketing, and that perfectly manufactured experience. And today, all of this psychological warfare has gone digital. That Starbucks app on your phone isn't just for convenience. It's an incredibly powerful data gathering machine. It knows where you are, what you buy, when you buy it, all to predict your next move. Those personalized offers you get, they're not random. They are algorithmically timed to hit you when you're most likely to cave. The rewards program is built on this foundation. Once you start collecting those little stars, you feel like you're losing something if you don't use them, or if you go to a different coffee shop. This taps into a powerful bias called loss aversion. The app isn't just giving you rewards, it's creating digital handcuffs to make sure you never leave. And this gap between the marketing story and the business reality is everywhere. They call putting 3 stores on the same block clustering for your convenience. Critics call it a predatory tactic to suffocate local coffee shops. They talk a big game about ethical sourcing, but only about 30% of their beans are actually certified fair trade. And that whole farm-to-cup freshness story? Yeah, many of those beans have been sitting in a warehouse for months. So when you put all of these pieces together, the history, the mind games in the store, the business model, what is Starbucks really? What did Howard Schultz actually build? And here's the final secret. Starbucks isn't really a coffee company at all. It's a behavioral science lab that uses coffee as its main experiment, and a massive real estate empire that uses that lab to justify owning the best corners in every city in the world. So let's just recap the playbook. The menu is a decoy to make you spend more. Your name on the cup is a trick to create a false sense of connection. The lighting and music are there to literally change your mood. The app is there to learn your habits and predict your every impulse. And the whole business model uses coffee as a front to sell you much more profitable sugar, milk, and pastries. It is a perfect machine, honed over decades of psychological research. That seductive siren from the very first logo, she is still singing her song, trying to lure you in. The only question is, now that you know all of her secrets, will you still answer the call?